Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the last game of the Brawl Cup today, which was Toxic Lotus versus Loud. So in terms of like the big teams, you know, it's not the biggest of teams playing, but I think it is definitely the best match. And to be honest, I didn't have the most time to watch this because I was preparing for the the show match after, which if you guys didn't see it, make sure to check it out. It was good fun. It was good fun with 100 Thieves content creators, but yeah, I didn't get to watch too much of the games today, unfortunately. So I know what happened, but I didn't get to watch the in and outs. I didn't get to, you know, analyze the draft, etc. So this was set to be a banger. So yesterday I needed to do a video on that, but I should be doing a video on Toxic Lotus versus Tribe maybe when I get back to the UK. Perhaps that would be a really good game to cover. But for now, we're going to be covering this. So, Brawl Ball, Triple Dribble. We have a lot of good bans here. So, we see the best first picks. It looks like Lumi, Hank, Kenji. Can't really go wrong with that. And then we see the Frank ban. Not too really sure why they banned Frank, but B and Stu also good bans, especially considering how well like Kyle Dog played on Stu yesterday. So there you go to Max. So to be honest, the Toxic Lotus comp is not the worst thing in the world, but it doesn't also have the greatest of synergies when you think about it. You've got Lou, who's kind of like a mid. You know, he can play lane, but you know what I mean. A bit of an awkward brawler, hasn't got good peeking capabilities. Same goes for Max as well. Like Max is a mid or just unsure where to put Max. And then there's Willow. So Max doesn't really actually get much synergy with any of these brawlers. And then we go with a Janet. So Janet is a great brawler into all of these. Like Janet's just good into Lou, good into Max in a 1v1. You know what I mean? Chester doesn't have like any great matchups, but he will be able to feed a lot of super from the Max and the Lou. And looking at the compositions, I would have definitely said I preferred Louds just because Toxic Lotus comps just feels a bit, I don't know, just not forcefully put together, but really lacks the synergy to have substance, especially in Brawl Ball. You do need a really good synergy draft going ahead. So in terms of who I was rooting for, I mean, I really love the Loud guys, of course I do, but I was biased towards Toxic Lotus because OU is just such an OG in Brawl Stars, and we go way back. We actually do. He's always been really kind. And he also gave me a Teddy last event, or the event before that, which was really nice. And then their manager is Star Dragon, so of course I'm going to be rooting from Star Dragon. Yeah, I've known him again for years and years and years. He's been a member of my club, so we're going to be rooting for Toxic Lotus. So straight away, Toxic Lotus, they get a really good opening start, and Tok manages to score that in. So looking like a really good first 30 seconds from them. But the thing is, like, it's Willow. Willow's just meh. I mean, Willow's good in Brawl Ball, but when you think about it, Willow, you want to match up actually into tanks, just because that's the type of brawlers you want to defend yourself against with Willow. That's why you pick her in Brawl Ball, right? Like any type of assassin, they're going to be okay into Willow, but once she has super, you know, that's why you pick her. But I guess she's got okay matchups, but what she's really going to do, she kind of just tickles everyone. So OU pops the hypercharge. Now he's going to try and make a play. Now he can't receive any damage, but I think once, Adino gets below a threshold, I don't know if it's 20% or 10%, he then OU gets out of his mind control. So although the hypercharge seems pretty cool, you can't receive damage yourself. Still, the person that you mind control, if they receive damage, you're just going to be out of the hypercharge. So again, I just don't understand the Willow hypercharge. I just don't like it. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, it's a waffling way of trying to say I don't like the Willow hypercharge. We should have just done something else with it. So Loud, they're going to be pushing it in here. Kydog gets a lot of value there, and he's still alive, and Tok just manages to get the takedown. So that was actually really, really close there in the end. So now there's 30 seconds left with the ball heavily in the corner. A hypercharge to play with. Figro pops his hypercharge at Janet, which is actually going to get a lot of damage. The hypercharge completely wasted from the Lou. Figro now is in a dangerous position. Juju is chipping him back. All members from Team Toxic Lotus are going to be weak. A good max speed though to get Engine into the fight, but all members are going to go down, and that is, I gotta say, that's a disastrous choke from Toxic Lotus. It just is. The hypercharge wasted. Like, I don't know how all of them managed to get weak. It was just the bad moment. Like in Brawl Ball, as soon as everyone's weak, it's just not good. But you also want to cycle through deaths, especially that late on in the game. Like, they had the goal league, they had everything going their way, but we get a good kill onto the Chester here. Now in a 3 versus 2 with the Willow super to hand, this should be a really good situation for them to score. So max hypercharge should be coming in pretty soon. There's also a Chester hypercharge, which could be pretty dangerous. It's just basically who can get that first one. So OU is definitely in the best spot. He has Willow super. The ball's in his hands, but the other thing is that Willow isn't the best in overtime. I mean, Juju's not either. It's a bit of a, I don't know, it's a bit of a chip fest so far. Talk is really not doing a great job of getting his super. Underdog lands the hypercharge onto the Lou, gets the spray onto all members of Toxic Lotus as well, and that's just a Chester hypercharge diff. That's what I'm saying with the Chester hypercharge. It doesn't matter if it takes the whole game to get. It's just still absolutely insane. It's just like, what even was that? What even was that? Like, he's not even near, but it doesn't even look like he's near the other two people, and it's still, the spray hits on both of them, so he cycles through to another hypercharge. That was just absolutely insane. So again, Toxic Lotus, maybe they're feeling the nerves a little bit here. I really felt like there was in control there, some misplays, and they lose that. So again, the level of competition is definitely really high. So we're talking pure competition here. I think Valou definitely outranges Chester, so has a decent matchup there. But then Juju has matchup into Willow, and then what is the other lanes? It is Janet versus Max. So Janet should be able to win that for the most part, but Max can definitely chip away to his super. So some weird matchups to really analyze here. So this super's going to be going in. Loud are going to be cornering the ball. My guess is that they fancy their chances in overtime. I don't know why they're cornering the ball so early on, considering I think they have a half decent composition. I don't know why they would actually corner the ball there. But anyways, I'm still actually like the whole of today when I was speaking to people who were still like, how would Tribe lose? Like, how did that even happen? I'm still trying to process it myself. It was definitely the biggest disappointment, and I can't wait to actually break that down. But I thought, whilst this is relevant, I've got to break this down. So max speed coming in from Tok. OU's going to get in a good position to kill Fiker here. Also gets the mind control onto Chester. Unfortunately, he is weak though, so just get taken down quite easily from Edinio. And yeah, again, I don't know why Loud are completely cornering this ball here, and just to make the most of sense, but I see the clock dwindle down. Yeah, this is some boring gameplay. Like, why would you corner the ball? Please, this isn't SK Gaming, this isn't World Finals. It's a little bit on the line. An extra world spot can definitely go a long way, especially for a team like Loud, actually, when you think about it, because in their region is very close, so they probably want to be earning that spot as much as possible. So I apologize for any background noise, like any cars going by in the motorway. Yeah, hotel room vibes. Anyways, Vicro is going to go down, 30 seconds left, hypercharge. I mean, Cardog's just going to wait for his hypercharge, I bet. Is that the maths, really? We're going to wait for Chester hypercharge and then just try and get the goal pretty late on. So I'm actually just going to lean back in my chair here because I don't even know what is going on at this point in time. So I've had to also rewind back a little bit there. I feel like I'm out of sync now, but there is currently like not really much going on. A few seconds left in the game, and now going into overtime. So overtime pop in again. The ball is still in the corner. Why is the ball still in the corner? Please somebody tell me, why is it in the corner? Why? Get it out of the corner. Okay, 45 seconds left, and the ball is still in the corner. OU does have his hypercharge. He's going to use it finally on Kyodog. Is he going to get any damage onto the other player? I don't think he is. OU runs into a Chester super as well, and this isn't looking good for Toxic Lotus. So now hypercharge Ficro coming in. This should get a lot of damage. It's going to get Engine pretty weak. OU's pretty weak. Tok is pretty weak, and that is going to be Loud winning the first set. So again, I don't know why they kept the ball in the corner. I don't think their draft in overtime was that great, but it seemed to work out. So Loud with the first set. Let's jump into the next. Jumping into the second set, then we've got Gem Grab at last stop, and you can already see Jae-Young, the best brawler in the game, has been drafted. Finally, we get to see some Jae-Young gameplay, and Finks as well. Finks is so good on a map like this. Any sort of range, you can play Finks as mid if needs be, lane. I mean, same goes for Jae-Young as well. You can play lane, mid. So Tara's a decent first pick, but Finks is a great counter to Tara, so I'm not too sure. And then they go with Crow. So Crow is an excellent counter to the idea of Jae-Young, you know, if you're grouping up a lot. But in a 1v1, I don't really fancy much. I don't really like Crow so much, but I know the pros are starting to like Crow a bit more. Again, I'm not completely sold. I'm going to test it out more. I just don't really like it. But this is probably the best chance for it to work, especially into a Jae-Young. So interesting to see. And then the Jean. So Jean, of course, going to be really good in last stop, scouting the lanes. And then the Piper. So Piper is interesting. I don't know whether this is a bit of an ego pick, because Piper is not the brawler I probably would have selected against all this. Honestly, like even like Penny would have been better, or anything along those lines. But I guess Piper can be good. Piper's good into the Crow. And again, if you're tapping a lot, if you're kind of feeling yourself, you're feeling confident, then, you know, Piper is a confidence brawler. But against pros, Piper doesn't work as well as she used to. But we'll see how it goes. So, now loading into the game. And the Crow, of course, wants to be facing off against Jae-Young matchup. But he is Crow is just a weird one. He's also using his shield gadget, which I'm not sure about. But yeah, you can even see here, like, the damage that Crow puts out, Finks is just not really having a problem pushing up. Yeah, like, what is the Crow even doing? So we're going to try and swap matchups here. I mean, Tara into Finks isn't the greatest either. It feels like there's just two losing matchups there. I mean, it's kind of reliant on Jean to try and pinch, but at the end of the day, if there's a Piper just raining down and both your lanes are losing, like, what even are you going to do? Again, in just pure matchups, Tara versus Finks. Finks will have the better of the matchup most of the time. Crow into Jae-Young gets outranged. I mean, Crow can definitely win that, but you can see here, just getting absolutely bullied so far. What is the Crow even supposed to do? He deals no damage, but still the gems are still in an equal spot right here, both. I mean, the good thing is about Toxic Lotus composition is that there's a gene pool available, and as I said, I talk with an absolutely insane pool. But surely now Toxic Lotus should be in a good position to get these gems, and somehow we didn't even manage to get as many gems as I thought. Piper with a double tap as well, and wow, it somehow looked absolutely horrendous for Loud. And Toxic Lotus again, like, they're looking so good, but it's just these small moments that just seem to make these mistakes. I don't know whether it's nerves or what is really going on. I mean, there is a lot on the line, so I can see why these small mistakes are happening, but small mistakes turn into big ones in the end. So Engine's going to jump in there, just completely miss, but then another max range pull onto Piper. I swear Piper had jump both times, and still, I mean, Engine's going to go in there, but again, the Crow ran in there with a shield and still just got absolutely melted. Like, what did I just witness? Okay, so 2 more gems. They can tie it up. The hypercharge comes down even at the right moment, but now there's not enough gems in the middle. I believe another takedown, and Loud are going to win that one. So, to be honest, I don't know what mid-set adjustments can happen, because I felt like Toxic Lotus should have actually won that one, but it was only because of the brilliance of the Jean that they should have won that set. But they just look like they're chilling so far. They look like they're chilling. Probably a bit too much Loud. Probably a bit too much, because they dominated, but it nearly slipped away from them both times. Like, 2 pulls. They've got to count themselves lucky. How did 2 gene pulls onto the gem carrier and not win them the game? I have no idea. So we're going to go with a different strategy here. Definitely on a map like... Well, I forgot what this map's called, actually. I think Last Stop. What a lot of pros do, they make mid-set adjustments in terms of lanes, a double stack lane, sometimes a triple stack. So normally teams adopt that strategy when they've got a really bad losing lane, just like right now. Like they can't win a single lane, right? So you may as well triple stack, but the problem is there's triple stacked against a Jae-Young, and Jae-Young pierces and has decent range. So it didn't really work out that well. I think it would have been a lot better if they managed to get the Finks lane. They probably anticipated Loud swap in there, but I mean, this is the mind games that incur in pro play, by the way. There's a lot of mind games in lane swapping, matchup swapping, but now Toxic Lotus do have the control. It's interesting that Underdog is just keeping onto the speed for now. I mean, he should be good right here. Angel naturally gets the kill. I guess speed's just to help him juke in and out of the range of a Crow attack. I'm guessing that's why he's keeping onto it, because the health mode does have more damage, right? So I guess it's just using the speed just to try and juke in and out a little bit more consistently. The more things you know, the more things you know. And then of course, once he gets really weak, he can pop super for himself. So now all Loud need is that extra gem. Dog is going to get 1 kill. Jean with another pull. He's going to easily get that one. Engine is close to the hypercharge though, but it's not really looking good for Toxic Lotus so far. But 2 game-changing supers here. They've got a Gene Pull, they've got a Tara super. Can they do it in time? OU is getting in prime position right here. Does get the pull onto Jae-Young, but it's looking a bit messy so far. We do manage to pull a few gems away, which it might be good enough. Adenia's going to super in. You know what? I mean, it does actually counter the Gene a lot, but at the same time, those projectiles being spread, that can deal a lot of damage if you're not careful. I thought it might counter him a little bit harder, but it doesn't actually in the end. So now let's take a look. Hypercharge is going to come in from OU. He's going to get the takedown, and then another takedown from OU as well. And now 2 gem lead. I don't think that's actually enough, Firecrow. I don't know what he is actually doing down there. I mean, I guess he's trying to get like a kill, but he should just played it safe, jumped back and stayed in the middle, because he still had all the gems and enough time to level things up. So at the minute, some good gameplay, but I'm just noticing more mistakes than anything from both teams here. Again, is it nerves? I'm not too sure what is going on at the moment, but it's a good game. It's a good game. We can't be angry at a good game. So we love the Toxic Lotus fans over there. We always root for the underdog. That's just a common theme with esports in general. You always want the underdog to do well, because it's just a good story, especially Toxic Lotus. They're full of just really wholesome, nice people where they just want to win. They're just plain and simple. They just want to win. There's a region that haven't really got many wins on LAN or to their name, and just constantly at the bottom of people's tier lists. They're determined to prove people wrong. Don't you get that twisted. So see that Engine got the jump on Adenia there. Literally ran into his face, and Crow still didn't have the damage to kill him. So that is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. So now I'm just trying to see the position from both teams here. It's a little bit wonky. I don't even know what is happening right here, but Firecrow manages to collect a couple more gems. He's got a healthy gem lead now, so the good thing is from Loud here, what they can do, they can just play the patient game now. They've got that healthy gem lead. They can just, wait for Toxic Lotus to pick up 1 gem. They can pick up the next, and they'll just easily win. Somehow Firecrow manages to get the kill there as well. He must be really feeling confident if with a Piper running into the Tara like that, 2-tapping. That is some extreme confidence here. So the Gene Gadget just barely misses out Firecrow there. But now Firecrow again just needs to pick up the gem on his side. Just needs to do that a couple more times, and they have the win. So Engine does have Hypercharge here. Piper is nowhere near super because they had to use that Engine with the takedown. Okay, with a pull here from Tok as well. Kaidog is aiming onto Engine there. That is some really good play from Kaidog there. That's some good discipline. And now the lead is going away. Toxic Lotus to Gene Pull as well. I have not seen that interaction. There's so many cool interactions with Think Super. And now, again, this is just the messiest game I think I've ever seen in my life. Just constant, not even, throws, but also turnarounds, clutch plays. What is actually going on right now? Firecrow is going to go pretty weak. OU's Star Super gets slowed down. Honestly, Toxic Lotus probably should have won that. I mean, Brawl Ball, not so much, but the Jacob, they had it in their hands. And they just let it slip. Okay, so that's going to be 2-0 so far to Loud. I mean, one of the messiest games I've seen in a while, but entertaining. Let's jump into the third. Jumping into set number 3, we have Knockout Bells Rock. So this is a game that I definitely didn't watch any of, so I'm interested to see how this plays out. So let's take a look at the bans. So the best bans, best brawlers are Gene, Lumi, and Hank. So they first picked the Rico. That is interesting. Rico's a good pick on Bells Rock, but a first pick? He must be either the best Rico in the world, or I don't know, they've just been practicing something else. I guess Rico does have its good matchups. But they go Kenji Gus, which is decent into the Rico. I would have actually thought they would go a thrower into Rico personally, or a wall break like Piper. Those are normally the best ones. I mean, Kenji's okay into Rico, but Gus as well. I mean, if I'm Rico, I'm laughing, because how have you managed to go first pick Rico and not get countered whatsoever? I have no idea. I guess Brock's one of the best counters to that. So they go with Daryl as well. Okay, Daryl is picked pretty early on and with no support as well. I mean, that's Berry's support. Also, like Berry when he was meta before the nerf. I mean, he still has meta because technically the nerf has been reverted, but Berry was used everywhere. So now to see Berry and Knockout Bells Rock is a bit interesting. I'm do have my reservations a little bit here, but I can see it working. Rico, Daryl, and the Berry. Okay, Griff. Surely there's got to be a better brawler than Griff, right? Griff. Surely there's something better than that. Surely, no? Is there not a better thrower? Is there not a better... Maybe they could have gone Juju? Maybe they could have gone Ball? Actually, I would have just gone Barley. Like, Barley's a good counter to Rico and Berry. And they just needed someone like that. A bit of support, a bit of healing. I mean, I guess Daryl counts as Barley, but... I mean, Kenji can counter Berry, you know? I don't really like the Griff. Griff knockout just doesn't really cut to me. I guess they're trying to counter this Rico, but still, I just don't know. Okay, so the pressure is going to be going down for Loud here. I guess they're just going to completely try and open the map. I mean, doing that against Rico is good and Berry, actually, when you think about it. But maybe there's a better wall break. I don't know. Let's see how it works out. So now, I mean, I guess the kind of game plan here then from Toxic Lotus. I mean, they got one thing right. They could wait end game because Daryl is just really good end game. But then you think about it with Griff, the longer the game goes on, he's just breaking walls like crazy. Let's say another wall break there. By the time it is round 2, the whole map would be pretty much opened up. So Tok is eco challenge in the middle here. Already got one OK super off as well. You see he's already got another super as well. Edinho is in a tough spot here. Tok gets a lot of damage, and that's going to be some good synergy between Engine and OU. Kenji Super's going to go down with a Gust Shield. I mean, Toxic Lotus are playing this really well here, and they should be able to get the final kill. Okay, so I'm not too sure how I feel about that Griff. Like, the gas was closing in, and the Rico just had the perfect line of sight and just completely melted him. It would have been a good wall break, but I still think Loud was in a good position there. They didn't need to force that wall break in that position. And another Rico super right there. I just think they're not choosing the right moments to Griff wall break. I mean, if they're going to go with a wall break, I think with Griff, you've got to push up and destroy the area, right? Like, why not go for another brawler that eventually gets super? Or, I don't know, like... Even if you go for a wall break option, why not even Colt, weirdly enough? Like, at least he can break open walls at range, and Toxic Lotus just run through things right there. So again, I'm sorry if you hear any sirens or anything like that. Dallas is wild, guys. It is wild. So you can see there in the crowd, is that Wreckers, I think, and Jake? Okay. I didn't actually get the chance to really speak to any of those guys today, but hopefully tomorrow. Anyways, all right. Next round. So in terms of Loud's game plan here, I don't really understand it with Griff, but I think, again, if these, as long as Edinho doesn't push up in these awkward moments, like, yeah, he's good. It's just these weird pockets, like this left and right side. You can see Rico just has some really good bounce spots. And down in the middle, like, I don't think you need to break that all the way in their spawn. I think just be careful there. I mean, what is Griff really doing, though? Like, what is he actually doing? What is his purpose here? I just don't know. His only purpose is to counter Daryl, but OU's doing a great job of just sitting back, like not feeding the Griff, just waiting, buying the time, and Griff's just not going to be good, right? So Firecrow's going to try and push up a little bit here, but I think Tok is just having a game of his life right now, and Rico getting some really good angles, getting some good supers in the previous game. So Griff does manage to get a wall break there. Doesn't completely break open everything, though. So now as the gas starts to close in a little bit, OU again just waiting for his prime opportunity to roll on in here. The super going to go in. OU's got the perfect opportunity to dash in on Kaidog. Doesn't actually get the kill in time, even after a really good play. Tok just managed to get some good super, though. And now Engine versus Kaidog in a 1 versus 1. Wow, that is some really clutch plays. I think that came down to the Rico super in the end. But again, these micro plays that I've seen, like OU baited out the Gust knockback and then rolled in afterwards, got him weak. We see the Rico super come down as well. We see the Berry super come down in a clutch moment. Yeah, I'm seeing some good mechanics from Toxic Lotus. I'm really liking it so far. So now we're just one game away from pretty much sweeping them here and knockout. I mean, I don't think the draft is that diff. I just don't really like the Griff. The Griff is a really weird pick. So Tok's now in a good position here with his super. Is flashing it a lot. A lot of confidence. Kenji's just pretty much got no value here. I probably would have anticipated Kenji going a bit more aggro considering things. but I can see he's just using it for pressure. He thinks that if he gets pushed up, maybe they can win a little bit easier. Again, Figro's just sitting back, just get his super finally though, so that's going to be good for them. They got a good hypercharge as well, good super from Tok. He's managing to stay alive with the berry heals. So we see a berry hypercharge and a Darrow hypercharge going to come in here. OU with a great super as well. He knows if he dashes into Gus, he's just going to die pretty quickly. Tok manages to get a kill onto Frykro and the super onto the Gus. What did I just watch? And OU with the clutch Darrow roll as well. Damn, that is some great play. I mean, the fadeaway Rico super just blitz him. And then OU killing Griffin a 1 versus 1. Wow, that is clutch. As clutch as it gets. So yes, that was just a silly draft from Loudvogue, but that's going to be 2-1. Let's hop into the next. Okay, now jumping into set number 4, we have Hot Zone Ring of Fire. So as you see on your screen, the best picks are going to be Hank, Lumi, and Kenji. And then other weird picks. I mean, I think this is a good pick. I mean, I don't know why they banned Frank. Maybe they want to go Hank themselves or a brawler like that. I would love to hear their thought process on Frank. I mean, Frank is an okay brawler, but I don't know, maybe with their draft style, they just want to ban Frank. I've got to ask them that tomorrow, because again, Frank's only good as a counter to certain brawlers. So we see the B Stu pick. I mean, B Stu's okay. Stu's a lot worse in the meta now since the hypercharge rate nerf. I did anticipate him get picked a lot less, which we saw. B's such a good pick. Early on, I'm quite surprised I'm not seeing some Bobo. Some bow action would be pretty good, and they're good at Ash, so I really like Toxic Lotus' composition here. They've got a bit of everything. Lou in the middle to zone. They've got a Juju just to be really annoying. They've got a counter to Stu and B. Well, definitely the B, because B's squishy. Stu can be okay and be a little bit annoying, but once the Gree starts cycling, then Stu's going to have a tough matchup there. And then Ash, I do like the Ash into the Stu, and the B. Once you cycle Rats, you should be having a good time. So Carl is going to be drafted last. I mean, Carl, I did say is a good counter to Juju. It's not a lot, but fully counters Juju. But Carl's okay, I guess. But I don't know, Carl into Lou, not the best. Carl into Ash can be pretty good. I don't know, like draft wise, I think both are pretty good. I think the Juju is going to be very, very annoying for Loudbow. And then in the middle, I mean, B should be beating Lou in the middle for sure. So I kind of like the Loud's composition a little bit better, if anything. I kind of like their composition a bit more. We've got the range with the Carl as well. We'll see how it plays out though. But again, B should be beating Lou in the middle. I mean, a really good Lou can beat B, but it's very rare. It's very rare. Like, Lou's main attack projectile is easy to avoid. And that's one thing with Lou, right? Like, I see a lot of teams first pick, well, a really good kill from Engine there. I see a lot of teams first picking Lou, which, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but the reason why some pros don't like first picking Lou is because he can get countered. Like, he can get countered by the B. Like, any other mid, Lou will get countered by pretty much. You know, Bo, all of these other brawlers. But then again, you've got to consider as well that if you don't pick the Lou, the opponents are going to 2-3 pick Lou. And that's just a solid proposition. So, yeah, I'm just waffling right now. And now, the pressure's going to come down from OU here. He's in a really good spot. I think pros are starting to learn how to avoid the Carl gadgets a little bit more here. That's going to be OU going down to a slow from Firecrow, and now control is going away of Loud. So Tok's going to just come back and heal, but Loud are in such a good position here. They've got a spawn trap going. I don't know how they're going to come back from this. So now 1:37 on the clock, and is the Carl dying to the Juju? I can't even see that there. Does actually die to the Gree pet here, but a lot of percentages coming down for Loud now. Now we need to try and do something. So OU with a really well timed gadget there does get some great slows onto Kaidog as well, and now he can start the flank. So that is all coming down from OU's gadget play there, just showing how good Juju's invisibility is. Completely busted on a thrower, absolutely here. So now Engine's going to have to try and get in behind enemy lines, but it's really hard against the Stu, keeping his max distance. So Adinio now going to pop the hypercharge. Of course, the cars are going to go down really loud here. The Lou super is going to be coming down. A great well, I was going to say, great freeze there onto the B. Doesn't actually manage to get the kill. Engine's going to pop Hypercharge just to get that bit of speed to try and confirm the kill. Doesn't get the kill, but doesn't cycle through to Hypercharge Super. Now Toxic Lotus are starting to make a run back into things right here. 82% to 80%. Kydog with a Hypercharge. Engine's going to just burn and not stay alive here. Tok with a Hypercharge Super, but now the percentages are dwindling down. OU's doing a great job of just shooting at the exact point where Loud cannot go down, and then that's going to be the game going toward Toxic Lotus. So we might be witnessing a reverse sweep here. Take notes, Bobby. Take notes about this reverse sweep. Actually, see, that's one thing Bobby doesn't need to take notes on, reverse sweep. See, he's been there, done that. But everything else, yeah, I mean, I can, the draft in, maybe. But anyway, I don't know why I throw shade at Bobby. Bo was just throwing up that sign the entire event. I've seen it all over Twitter, literally for hours. Poor Bobby was not getting this single moment's rest. Right, now, in terms of what Loud can really do here, I mean, we just lost control. Like, I don't know how they lost control in that moment, to be fair. They just lost control and just couldn't get their way back, especially because Ash isn't really doing a whole lot. Like, Ash does have the doesn't have crazy good matchups here. It's just down to OU popping off at the right time. So now Engine's going to look to try and swap matchup here. Doesn't actually swap it in the end. Firecrow's having his way in the middle. I mean, Doc manages to get his super down in time. OU pops another gadget. He's going to be being careful of his call. Gadget as well. He knows his one shot, so he's going to fall back. Firecrow with his gadget. A bit of gadget warfare so far. He has got the bad B gadget cycle though. If you guys didn't know, B's gadget doesn't cycle the right way 1 out of 2 times. So whether it's just true blue or true red, so it's the bad version this time. So of course good for Toxic Lotus. So Juju Pet gonna go down on a call. Not getting the most value here. Getting some decent, I mean, that is 2 shots on the water there that didn't even slow, which is just insanely bugged. But with all the control that Loud have had, they've not really sat in the zone for that long. Like only 50% here. Actually isn't as much as I would have thought. Now the gadget's going to go down and get Engine pretty weak. Engine again, he's not really finding the value that I probably wanted on the Ash. He has not really building up much supers. He is just getting pinched out way too often. Kydog's going to go in here with the Carl super. Doesn't actually get the kill onto OU, which you might regret. Engine getting his hypercharge super. It's going to push back both the B and the Carl. That was literally the perfect time to use it if you think about it. Carl going down. Ash Rats into 2 single shot brawlers. Yep, he's gonna have fun with that. And now they're completely taking over the map, and it's just getting too much for Loud. The thing is, with that composition, B and Stu can get pressured back too easily against the same things. The wall break's gonna go down, but I don't know why they're really using wall break here on Hot Zone. They should have probably gone with the speed, but it doesn't matter. Toxic Lotus are gonna win the 4th set. So now we've got a game 5 reverse sweep on the card, so let's jump into it. Okay, so now I'm moving on to the 5th and final set. So again, I barely got to watch this one backstage, so I'm excited to see how this one fares off myself. So let's take a look at the composition so far. In terms of first picks here, we've got Angelo, Lumi and Chuck manned out, which is fair enough, I think. Toxic Lotus are getting a lot of good first picks. I think this is more of a balanced meta, so pros tend to like first pick more in a balanced meta, but me personally, I just always prefer last pick. I just always prefer you get to see the entire enemy composition, and with so many brawlers in the game, you should be able to come up with a decent counter. The first pick, Bell is decent. Charlie, I don't understand teams going Charlie, especially so early on here. I mean, Charlie's a good defender. I think that's the thing, right? Like, I think with Heist, just as the meta's evolved a bit more, teams do like one defender at least, especially in, well, not Hot Potato, but that's not in the pro play, Pit Stop. People got like Cordelius, RT even, Charlie. So we're going to go with that strategy there. I think they're anticipating the Miko probably going Charlie as well, because Charlie's okay into Miko, especially with just the attack spam, and they're going to go with a Kenji. Okay, so we saw the Kenji first pick from Loud against Tribe, if I'm right, and it seemed to work out really, really well. I mean, Kenji's a good brawler on safe zone, definitely. I mean, I was surprised when he picked it yesterday, but it's good. But the only thing is, it's not good against like brawlers that can pinch Kenji well, or just pure damage. Like with Kenji, you can out damage a Kenji, and in the base race here. So I think Toxic Lotus does have a good composition to counter Kenji though. Like, Carl's good at base racing with the gadget and just shooting off the wall, you get a ton of damage. Super as well. And then, of course, Miko. Miko is a great base race brawler, so I was surprised to hear. I mean, I think it's because Miko's not been seen in the meta for a while, but he's definitely been in the pro meta in Heist for a couple of weeks now, but maybe people are catching up to it, so I'm not surprised seeing it whatsoever. Again, it's cool to see him back in the meta somewhat after such a long time, but it's just Heist pretty much. I mean, maybe knock out late pick into a throw and a sniper, but that's about it. So now 2 shields going down for both teams, and I'm just kind of struggling to keep up with this. So Dog is going to go into the safe, another shield going down, and OU manages to get 1 kill, 2 kill. Great sweep up there. I can't even catch my breath because what is going on right now? Dino managed to get a really good gadget. Was that like a 9k gadget? That was some insane damage raining down. So Fagro used the super onto Engine there. Not too sure why he did that, considering Miko could just jump over it. A little bit of panic, but Endinio should be able to get onto the safe and just barely manages to get onto the safe. And now they are on double match point. I didn't even have a chance to break down that game because, oh wait, bro is prawn ready. I did not see that. Is a beautiful drawing. Who drew that? That is better than the Nerf Hank one that I seen yesterday. Like, bro, we're not nerfing Hank. Get out of here. Anyways, that was just pure base race. Like, I guess Charlie's good for base race as well with his Spider's gadget. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, good kill onto Kenji there. We've got 2 aggressive brawlers from Loud. They're just running it in like crazy. This feels like a throwback to how Brawl Stars used to be played. So now, good damage from Engine there. Really good damage. I guess like Loud just went full on offense. They forgot they need someone on defense. So that's going to be 2 supers utilized there from Loud. And somehow OU just avoids both of them there and then gets some good damage onto his say. This is an absolute masterclass from OU so far. That, like, he just wasted the entire utility. Can't even get my words out from Loud. So now there's like a massive lead going for Toxic Lotus. It's looking good, especially with the Heist change. When you get a lead, it's easier to defend. This Engine's going to jump in here. He's going to get some good pressure. So what he's doing is actually, I'm learning a lot. OU with, oh my, what? He just baited out that Daryl super again. I've never seen a Carl just bait out a Daryl so well. Literally, if you're thinking of counters to Carl, you'd think Daryl is the number 1. Literally, Daryl is the number 1 with the knockback. He's got 2 chances to knock back Carl now, and OU's doing a great job. The gadget up as well. Louder just going in, they're not defending, and there's just no chance with the Heist change. Yeah, they know that is pretty much over unless Adinio can get a really clutch kill there. And really well played from Toxic Lotus there. Again, it's what I'm talking about. Once you get a lead in Heist, you can defend it pretty well, especially with Miko. You can just constantly jump over and get pressure. The crowd loving it. I wasn't in the crowd. Rip. I would have loved to have been in the crowd in this. So now we're on match point with the potential of a reverse sweep from the Underdogs. I mean, what do you even call them, Underdogs? I voted for them. I think they've been Underdogs for a while, but it's definitely the Underdog story in that sense. So we missed the first 15 seconds there, and we missed a lot. We missed a lot of action because we got 2 kills already there from Engine. He's already going to get some good damage onto the safe. OU's going to get some good damage onto the high safe here. He can fall back though because he knows the shield is going to pop. So Engine gets the kill onto Edinio. OU's going to get pinched out a little bit. He's already got a hypercharge, which is insane. He does get the kill onto Ficro as well. I don't know, how has he managed to get a hypercharge within the first 40 seconds? I have no idea. Engine getting some good damage again there. Another gadget up, and that's going to be the super onto Cole. Edinio's probably going to get the kill here, but OU manages to stay alive. How? Literally, the Daryl was waiting for him to respawn out of the cocoon, and he managed to super out of there. I don't know what I'm witnessing here. This is a masterclass from OU, like actual masterclass. Another Charlie super. It's not going to do all too much. Again, the Carl is managing to counter the Daryl. This is just insane. Is it misplaced from the Daryl, or just OU just perfectly timing the gadget as well? These is just some beautiful plays from OU, and I've just not seen a Carl do these things. Engine's going to jump on in with a 6k shot in the end, and that is absolutely insane. Star Dragon going absolutely crazy. These are the scenes that you just absolutely love in Brawl Esports. These type of stories, you love to see it. These guys were generally just so happy. I mean, commiserations to Lad, they put up a good fight, but you really want to see the underdogs fall through. But also, a funny story, literally as these guys came off stage, I managed to get their celebration hugs in. That's what I like from the players. I like the overall emotion. You can see they're just so happy with that. Love to see it. Right, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Absolute banger, one of the best matches I've actually seen in a while. Right, that's gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys